This is Let the Record Show. Now, here are your hosts, Judge Richard Weinberg and Suffolk County Republican Committee Chairman Jesse Garcia.
We're back on Let the Record Show with Chairman Jesse Garcia of the Republican Party. I'm Judge Richard Weinberg. Joining us a little while is District Attorney David Soares of Albany with an important message of public safety for the citizens of New York State. So, Jesse, you hear the term, and you know this because you're a political expert, the October surprise is always something that they pull out of the woodwork at the end of the election campaign to try to change voters' minds, information or disinformation at the last possible minute. Now, the October surprise Democrats try to push out was that Trump is worse than Hitler, or he is Hitler, he's a fascist, Musk is a Russian spy. This is what the Democrats try to pull. Look, Trump is a lot of things, but a fascist he's not, and there are a lot of institutional protections against that. You have 4 years of seeing how he ran this country, and the one who had fascist tactics used against him were those of the Democratic Party, starting with Hillary Clinton and the dossier, the Steele dossier, the phony impeachments. What else do? They tried this election cycle to deny him the right to be on the ballot and disqualify him. They tried to bankrupt him. They attacked him criminally using the Department of Justice. So who are the fascists? Who are the misusers of the democratic system, the judicial system, the prosecutorial function? It's the Democratic Party. It's Biden. That's who's done it. And that's the real problem. So that's the October surprise. Trump is a fascist. With respect to the not-so-surprising October surprise, Harris is even worse than we thought. We could even imagine. She's a total lightweight. She's proven she has nothing to say. She has an inability to speak. She engenders no confidence. If she's not on the teleprompter, she has nothing to say. When she does talk, it's all word salad and garbage. An apt term for what she does. It's garbage, intellectual garbage. You don't know what she stands for. But the real surprise is how bad her judgment is, Jesse, in picking this character Walsh, the governor of Minnesota, who has very strong links to communist China, who now turns out to have had a lover whose father was one of the leaders of the Communist Party in China, who's been doing deals and business with the communist China for decades and decades and decades. That's the not-so-surprising thing about it. Harris is really worse than we even thought she could be. And until the Democrats got all ecstatic, they were getting rid of Biden, how wonderful she was, everybody knew that she was a lightweight and unqualified. Not only unqualified for the vice presidency, but certainly unqualified for the presidency. That is Kamala Harris. Well, Jesse Garcia, who's the vice chair of the state Republican Party and county chair of Suffolk, and I are absolutely honored and delighted to have you on Let the Record Show. Now, you're running for District Attorney of Albany County. And let me just say to our listeners, we've talked before, Mr. District Attorney, and the one thing I always admired about you, and Jesse's always admired about you, is your courage in fighting the fight to protect the citizens of Albany County. But you sent a clear message. It's not just about Albany County. You are a voice of reason and common sense and public safety and law and order. And you are a fighter against these ridiculous raise the age bill or the bills that took away judges' discretion with respect to setting bail on certain kinds of crimes, or the open file discovery laws, which meant that large amount of cases had to be dismissed because they couldn't be processed properly. You're a fighter against that. And your award for protecting the people of Albany and sending a message to the people of New York State, Mr. District Attorney, is they primared you with a left-wing extremist criminal defense lawyer, totally unqualified to serve as the chief prosecutor of Albany County. They want to send a message that if you speak up against the crazy left wing, the radicals, you're going to be punished. And they beat you in a primary because they're better organized and had more money. But you have the courage to stand up, Mr. District Attorney, and you're fighting back with a write-in campaign. Would you please tell our listeners about your write-in campaign and why you're running
Greg Kelly here with an urgent retirement warning. President Trump's return is set to usher in a new golden age, but growing trade tensions and China's ruthless attack on the dollar have rattled the markets. That's why Warren Buffett just dumped $133 billion in stocks. And so too have Jeff Bezos, Larry Page, and even Jamie Dimon, CEO of the world's largest bank. That's why thousands of informed IRA and 401k savers are now shielding their savings with gold. And the experts at Colonial Metals Group are the only folks I trust to help you to do the exact same thing, especially now after Rich Dad Poor Dad author Robert Kiyosaki warned of a coming market crash. So visit freegoldguide.com/Kelly or call 800-655-5186. You'll get a free gold guide on how to bulletproof your wealth with gold tax-free. Plus, see if you qualify for a free home safe and as much as $7,500 in free silver. Once again, that's freegoldguide.com/Kelly.
This National Foster Care Month, Marine Toys for Tots is providing hope to children who need it most. Staff Sergeant James Caldwell, who grew up in foster care himself, shares that while handing out gifts at a Toys for Tots distribution event, a little girl looked up at him, reached into her bag, pulled out a stuffed animal and said, "Someone needs to make sure you get a toy too." That simple gesture embodies the heart of Marine Toys for Tots, ensuring every child, including those in foster care, experiences the kindness that can transform their future. Visit toysfortots.org today. Did you know that hunger affects thousands of our neighbors? Right here in Nassau and Suffolk counties, Long Island Cares, funded by the legendary Harry Chapin, is dedicated to changing that. They partner with nearly 400 agencies to provide food, education, and support those in need. Visit licares.org to see how you can help. Through donations, volunteerism, or corporate partnerships, your support is critical. Go to licares.org today and be part of the solution. No one should go hungry. That's licares.org.
Hackers don't need much. Just one leaked password can potentially unlock a treasure trove of personal information, leading to stress, pain, and permanently wrecked credit. Don't be an easy target. Get protection by Aura today. Aura protects your identity, finances, and family, all in one powerful app. Get real-time alerts, safeguard your accounts, and block scams before they happen. If identity theft strikes, we help you recover. Stay protected at aura.com/listen. That's AURA.com/listen.
In November.
Well, it's just as you said, and I thank you very much for that introduction, because it speaks volumes as to what's been happening here in Albany County. And what's happening in Albany County, Your Honor, in terms of public safety, is happening everywhere in the state of New York because of the reckless laws that were passed. Now, I'm a Democrat. I'm a black district attorney. I've been here for over 20 years in office, and I have been supportive of every single public safety policy that has benefited the people of my county. However, 7 years ago, with Raise the Age and bail reform, that has tipped safety in favor of criminals, because now criminals are safe to be able to go out and do what they do, and there's no risk associated with their behavior. We have retail theft that's running amok in our community. We have many individuals here who are committing violent street crimes, and the illegal guns in our community are so bountiful. And I could not accept the low turnout of the primary, which was just about 2,000 votes. I could not accept that as and move ahead after all the work that we've done in this state, myself, along with my partners in law enforcement. And I decided to conduct a write-in. And if people want to see what's going on, go to davidsoares.com, DAVIDSOARES.com. Our campaign has gained momentum. We have knocked on the doors of not only Democrats but Republicans. We've also knocked on the doors of our independents voters as well as our conservatives. We are giving every single person in Albany County a voice and an opportunity to vote for common sense as it relates to public safety. I love my party. I've been a Democrat my whole life, but on this issue of public safety, I can only say that my party has been reckless in abiding by the terms of advocates and criminal defense lawyers. That's just absurd.
Jesse, questions and comments with Attorney David Soares.
Real pleasure to speak with you again. And I know we spoke right before primary, and I have to tell you, your record on crime and public safety is second to none. And I believe that your decision is one that is merited. It should be heralded because you're doing this not about politics or party affiliations. You're doing this for the people you represent in Albany County. And this is coming from a Republican speaking to a Democrat. But like many of you, many prosecutors out here that we have been seeing, we've been seeing that their hands are being tied by these laws. They're not, so as judges their hands are being tied. And the cooperation with law enforcement groups like police officers and such is being curtailed. Perhaps maybe you can tell us and educate the voters a little bit how, your approach in prosecuting criminals has kept the people of Albany County safe as you navigate these ill-advised laws that empower crime and handcuff prosecutors, judges, and cops.
We have stayed aggressive. We are fighting every single decision that is being made by the courts. And by the way, as you said, and notably so, our judges also have their hands tied. But every single shooting, every single gun possession case that is possessed by a 16 or a 17-year-old, we are in family court fighting for that case. Imagine that. These days, when a 16-year-old, 17-year-old is brandishing a weapon, a fully loaded weapon, that person goes to family court where they're getting juice, crackers, and whatever therapy they get, and they're released right back out on the street only to do the same thing. The rate of recidivism involving our youth and the violence that they're perpetrating in our community is closing our businesses down. It is creating a fear in people visiting our wonderful city. And my fellow Democrats, what they do is they continue to read the company line about the trend in crime going down when nothing can be further from the reality that we're experiencing. And again, I have to tip my cap to our law enforcement. And I know that, people were calling for defunding the police. And while some cities may not have defunded them, they're surely the activists and the politicians that have demoralized them. And so we're all working under a lot of pressure. But my choices after the primary was to be a sitting duck for the several months or to rise like a phoenix. And my team and I have been on the doors. We have spoken to people in Albany County. What we need right now is more help. We need some contributions. I'm hoping that people will go to davidsoares.com and donate to our race, because this isn't just an Albany County issue. We want all of the people in Albany County to speak with one voice and send a message to the leadership that will be here in Albany County, and hopefully they will start to dial back on the reforms that they passed, as I said, that has just destroyed everything in the criminal justice system.
We're speaking with David Soares, who's the District Attorney of Albany County. David, would you please tell our listeners, if they go in to vote in Albany County and you're a write-in, how do they do that?
It is the sixth column that is the district attorney's race. And what they can do is go all the way to the bottom of the ballot where they will see a write-in. They need to fill in that bubble and then spell DAVID SOARES. And I thank you for the opportunity to share this message with your audience, sir. We have to reclaim our city, our county, and we have to reclaim our state.
Well, District Attorney David Soares, I have to tell you, speaking for myself and for Jesse, we're honored and privileged to have had you on the show this time as well as previously. You're a man of courage and intellect. You're right on the issues. Public safety is essential if we're going to have a civilized society. You're a fighter for that. Your election or re-election to this office is important because, as you correctly point out, you send a message to the power brokers. Enough is enough of this garbage protecting defendants and letting people who would victimize their fellow human beings out on the streets with a reckless disregard for their fellow human beings. So I say, on behalf of myself and Chairman Garcia, God bless you. God bless your fight. I hope that on Tuesday night I see an overwhelming write-in vote for you and that you're reelected as the District Attorney of Albany County. Thank you very, very much for joining Let the Record Show with Chairman Garcia and myself.
Larry Kudlow here with an urgent warning. While we celebrate Trump's historic win, inflation continues to drain your IRA and 401k, and China is now targeting your money with a kill shot on the dollar. That's why thousands of Americans are shielding their savings with gold and contacting the experts at Colonial Metals Group. Gold has protected American wealth through every financial war. For a free 2024 gold guide that explains everything, please go to freegoldguide.com/Kudlow or just call 800-621-3908. The experts at Colonial Metals Group are the only folks I trust to help you bulletproof your wealth with gold. Go to freegoldguide.com/Kudlow or just call 800-621-3908. That's 800-621-3908 for a free 2024 gold guide to learn how you can protect your life's work and if you qualify for a free home safe and up to $7,500 in free silver right now. freegoldguide.com/Kudlow.